How's it going, guys? I figured I'd hold off on actually uploading a video until I at least got one of my two new pieces of equipment in. My Blue Yeti just came in the mail today, so I really, I'm still blown away that I'm even using this thing in the first place. It sounds amazing. I'm still messing around with all of the settings on it. I had it perfect earlier. I'm not sure how I did it, but it's a work in progress. So maybe if I tilt it this way, now I'm actually talking to it. That probably sounds a lot better. Anyways, the backing track is just like this chill little remix of a song that I really like that I found, and I was like, you know what? It's midnight. Realistically, what I'm gonna do right now after I, record this game, probably gonna go have a cup of coffee, put a little bit of Kahlua in it, just kind of, maybe settle down, watch some shows on Netflix, and call it a night. Nice little chill end of my night. But I figured I'd crank this video out for you guys. That way you have something to watch tomorrow morning, either before or after my stream. It's all about that. I'm feeling so ridiculously chill right now. You know how that is? I think you know how that is. But anyway, you were probably noticing in the team preview that I forgot a Pokemon. Now, the backstory behind that, the first couple turns are just really straightforward. I don't have to explain any plays or anything of the sort. But there was a Lumberry Gallade in the 6th slot, the one right above Confirm, and I just wasn't paying attention. I just hit Confirm, and I was like, you know what? I don't really feel like backing out and just repicking, so, just go with it. Whatever happens, happens. I'll see how much I end up really needing it during the process of the game. So during that first couple of turns, I do have a Scarf Staraptor. I wasn't really feeling that Ice Shred too much because Staraptor's defense is definitely a little bit better than special defense, so I knew I could take one. Even if he really did want to go for it, the thought of Fake Out as a lead one didn't really cross my mind. The idea of Focus Sash being there was the one that scared me more. Just because if he was like Focus Sash SD, that definitely could have been a little bit of trouble, which is why I decided to U-turn just to break the potential Sash there. I do knock off the Assault Vest on that one. And knowing that it's Assault Vest Gudra just kind of means that it's not really going to have the pure stopping power that Choice Specs 1 or anything of that nature would. I'm assuming Assault Vest is just bulky offense, and then Assault Vest just compensates naturally. Or maybe people do build it like dedicated bulky. I don't know. Tentacruel was not really the thing to tango with this thing, to be honest, and I set up Toxic Spikes completely forgetting about the fact he had a Nidoking in the first place. And it's funny that we both brought Nidoking. It was something that I noticed immediately after he brought his in. And I was like, you know what? Let's tango, and I really shouldn't have done that, because if he brought in his Nidoking on my Nidoking, I definitely should have suspected that he was scarfed or something of that sort if he wanted to risk a speed tie, or I don't know. But I go for an Earth Power, and I basically also show him that I am A, not choiced, and B, I'm not afraid to do that. So if he is scarfed, he has valuable information for later. Right now, he's just baiting around moves to scout the rest of my pool. I actually do not have Thunderbolt, so I really can't do too much to this outside of Earth Power or Sludge Wave, neither of which are going to be solid 2-hit KOs if I remember correctly. It's not something I want to chance yet. Now, he makes a really good play right here, and he ends up going for the Toxic, actually predicting something other than my Nidoking to come in. This was the most likely switch in, and because I don't have Natural Cure, I have Harvest. I'm on a timer. Oh my god, I'm sorry, that yawn really snuck up on me. But he's going for Protect just to rack up some toxic damage. The way I see it, I might as well just go for Sub so I'm getting more Scald damage or anything like that. And I can just, do shenanigans behind a Sub, because this thing is Leech Seed, Phantom Force, Curse, and Substitute. So this is the tree set that I really like. So what does he go to now? So he goes just Crobat. I figure I'm going to go ahead and Curse right here just to get into Citrus range after Poison. Probably not the best move in hindsight, especially because if he is Infiltrator, he can just Brave Bird me behind the Sub and then just knock me out. It was something that did cross my mind, but it's not something that I've ever really run into. I've only run into Infiltrator Noivern, but then again, I've been out of the scene for God knows how long. I'm not sure if people actually just kind of clue into the fact that Crobat does have Infiltrator. You can Brave Bird behind Subs, and it's pretty cool. I don't remember. Wow, does Taunt always go through Sub? I don't remember if Taunt always goes through Sub. I completely forgot. I think it always did, if I'm not mistaken, but you know what, if it didn't, whatever. I'm not in any condition to be remembering that right now. All I know is that Spoopy Tree is just sitting here, just doing citrus berry harvesting shenanigans. I was literally just racking up toxic damage. This thing comes in as I Phantom Force, and if I had Shadow Claw, I just really like the idea of Phantom Forcing and then just getting Leech Seed recovery while you're in that alternate dimension, and also racking up a curse turn on whatever's in there, and then if they don't want to stay in, you just hit the switch in with Phantom Force. And this would be working out a lot better if I was not toxic, but I am, so I actually just die at the end of the turn. Ultimately, okay, I guess, because I do end up getting switch initiative, in that this thing just straight up dies. I got a little bit of chip damage off on the Vaporeon, which makes it a little bit easier for Manectric to pressure with Volt Switch. But I'm pretty sure I ended up trying to bait his Nidoking out because I don't have an HP Ice, I have HP Grass on this thing. So I go immediately out in a Staraptor thinking that he was going to be scared of the Volt Switch and was going to go out to Nidoking. It turns out he actually just goes for Scald straight out, and if he burned me, I'm pretty sure that would have been the game. I know Gallade could have definitely switched in pretty safely right there if I had it, just because, you know, it's got a pretty good amount of natural Spec D. I've got the Lumberry in case he gets the Scald burn. But if he didn't, I would have just Swords Danced and then just kind of gone from there. I feel like I could have taken out the Crobat with a combination of Shadow Sneaks on the switches and whatnot. So I don't know. I would have figured it out. Just having it there would have been nice. So I locked myself in on Brave Bird, and I know Weavile's coming in here because he is definitely packing an Ice Shard. I'm going to decide to go out to my Nidoking and sack it because looking at it, I'm not going to need it too much for Vaporeon. I'm not going to need it for Weavile because I'm slower. I forget what else he had, but I just kind of looked at my team and I looked at Nidoking and I was like, sorry, buddy, we're not feeling it this game. You know, I'll maybe try you on a different one, but it just outlook doesn't look too good for you on this one. Now, Staraptor, on the other hand, having Scarf Quick Attack might seem kind of dumb, but it saved my ass this game, and let me show you why. So he went for an Ice Shard on that one. The only way for me to outspeed it with the same priority is if I'm actually faster. So that's a thing. Other thing, kids, take note, Sucker Punch is also only +1 priority, so if you think you're going to set up on me with multiple Swords Dances, or I think he only got the one in, but he goes for an SD, knowing that he's either guaranteed the switch or I'm just not going to do a lot of damage with Quick Attack. I figure I'm going to keep going for it, because if I get a crit on this one, that works out great. I thought he was going to go for a knockoff here, and I was like, oh, well, shit, that sucks. Now he's +2. But he goes for the Sucker Punch because I have +1 priority. He has +1 priority. I go first. His Sucker Punch has no priority over mine, and it just ends up failing. So his Megas Absol is that's a 3-hit KO. I decided I might still need this thing to blow a huge chunk in Vaporeon before I go down. So I decided to go out into Manectric, and this play, actually, I don't know. I was expecting Ice Beam, and I was expecting to take a little bit of damage, but this play actually just makes my life... Whew, that was like a big sigh of relief, you know. I didn't think I would actually catch the T-Bolt or anything like that. But now I get to fire off a +1 Overheat onto the Nidoking. It is a Mega Manectric, but this was a crit. Now, I haven't run the calc on this yet, and every time I watch this, I'm just like, how much did that actually matter? I'm still under the impression it did, but maybe I'm just underestimating Mega Manectric, or I'm overestimating Nidoking. I'm not 100%. But this is a pretty easy matchup at this point right here, you know, me being against Vaporeon. On top of that, I get a really unfortunate paralysis there. I mean... I'll probably just end up living anything Vaporeon wants to toss at me in the first place. That Scald looks like a 3-hit KO. But yeah, it's basically the end of the game. He recognizes that and just sacks the Vaporeon to that. And what started as a 6-5 actually came back for me to be a 2-0. So definitely not something I do too often. Gallade could have been pretty handy there for a couple of pokes. Wouldn't have done too much against Weavile or Crobat, or even potentially Absol for that matter, but definitely would have helped in the other 3 scenarios. So, hey, 6v5, you drop something, you figure out workarounds. So, I guess that's the lesson of that story. Anyways, that's going to do it for this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave a like rating, comment, rate, subscribe, do your thing if you guys normally know what that is. If not, it actually consists of the first 3 spoilers. It's a little redundant. I've just gotten the habit of saying it. Anyway, yeah, that'll do it, and I will be seeing you guys. I think I'm going to upload this right now at 12:20 a.m. Yeah, that's a good call, and then I'll just see you guys tomorrow. I was going to upload it tomorrow morning, but here, have it now. Bye-bye, children.